Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. We got a bunch of comments in there already. Oh, Pamela has been to work. Looks like I'm kind of by myself here in the live stream room. But welcome, guys, to the live stream portion of the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net SIPN. That kind of sounds stupid, so it'll be the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Good to see you all. Let's see. Don't forget about the after chat on Discord. Yeah, don't forget. We now have a brand.
Bob, let me hear how you are coming back. Because that last one that was testing was on YSF. KB7 SQS.
All right, Lance, sounds good here. You were perfect copy, 100%, no dropouts, no nothing. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is K6UDA. And I'm just starting the live stream now. So if y'all want to jump over there and you can watch, you could see the Wires X screen. And Lance, how is it? How's it sounding?
So try the 14517 and let's try it there.
Oh. Crap.
Did you copy, Bob? Try the 14517.
Yeah, give me a quick second here. All right, K6UDA over on 145, the 17. And how am I getting out now? All right, guys, so we're trying to get this thing moved through the entire Magic Valley here. And with moving through the Magic Valley, we also get it out to a good portion of Idaho. So this net is getting.
Well, Bob, if you're not hearing me, obviously I don't think the YSS side of things are working for you, so that's going to be a problem. KB7 SQS.
All right, we'll have to dig into that another time. I'm gonna head back over to the K6UDA repeater, and just about getting ready to start the net here, and got a bunch of people on live stream already. Oh, whoopee! All right, thanks, Lance. I'll catch you a little bit later, and thanks for working on that K6UDA.
Because I think when you're live streaming and you got everything going, you just don't have enough internet bandwidth to run it there. So anyway, catch you later. I got to run. KB7 SQS.
All right, back over on the K6UDA repeater. And, okay, so YSF is not working so hot. We'll figure something out on that, maybe for next week. K6UDA. I'm going to go back to the live stream for a few minutes, and we'll see y'all here in about 7 minutes. K6UDA. All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's get a couple of the. Let's see, who do we have in the. Tarek in the house. Tarek has been very active. That's awesome. Hang on here. How did that happen? On the Discord server lately. So that's awesome. So I don't know what happened with this. My this kind of took a dump here. It went down. So Randman KO or K0TNG. Good morning. Who is Pamela? Who is Pamela? Pamela is she kind of helps me out. Man, she feeds me so much information. Good person. Wealth of prepper information. And she helps me out here on the live streams, and she's also a moderator over on the Discord side. So thank you, Pamela. Let's see. Jeff is in the house. Shell is in the house. Good morning, Shell, from Yuma, Arizona. Brad Smith in the house. Ham radio frequencies. Good morning. Let's see. KO4 EOD, and also on Wires X from Florida. That's awesome. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. 49 people with 14 thumbs up. How about some more thumbs up? Tell you what. How do I give it a thumbs up? I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It won't let me because I'm streaming. Crap. Okay. So you guys will have to do it for me. That's so cool. All right. Let's see. SoCo Ham Radio. Good morning. Amcon is in the house, guys. Amcon, great organization. Like I said, I joined them last month, and actually there's a brand new video up that Amcon did with yours truly. So you could go in there and check it out. I don't know if you have to be a member to check it out. But I'll tell you what, to me, worth the money. You can't do this on your own. You've got to be part of some group, whether it's your family, your friends, your neighborhood, whatever. You've got to have. You're not going to be able to do it all on your own. Now, right now, yeah, times are good, relatively good. But as we could see from today's subject, it's Cyberattack Saturday. Oh, wow. 9 nodes on the Wires X. Look at that right there on the Wires X. Right up there. 9 nodes. And now each node, if some of them are repeaters, can have several other several other hams attached to them. Lots of them we know are, just one. The KB7SQS repeater, which is always attached. That's another. It's a wider area repeater than mine is. A few people listen to mine throughout the day. Let's see. The fire guy is in the house. What's happening? Brother from another mother, from the old land, from the homeland, which I don't claim no more. 10 nodes in the house now, and 54 of us in the live chat. I want to invite y'all. We got 2 minutes before I pick up the mic here and start the net. But I want to invite y'all over to less than a cup of coffee. It's less, but less is more. I want to invite you all over to Discord after the net. We're going to kind of migrate off the live stream after a few minutes, and the Discord server, very, very cool. We can all kind of have a two-way conversation, a real conversation, which will be pretty bitchin', I think. I'm hoping. Let's see. 8:59. I'm going to move over my screens here, and I'm going to pull up my preamble. K7YAZ, I see. Just checked in there. And Doug, okay, W6DUG is not going to be on the net today. Okay. We'll miss you. N7 RBP got you in there, and it is 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and start the net. This is Bob, K6UDA, live from the Southern Idaho Command. And I want to welcome everybody to the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. This net meets each Saturday morning, 0900 Mountain Time, on the K6UDA repeater located in Twin Falls, Idaho. This is a digital-only net, accessible via Wires X Room 40448, which is the Idaho Command. Also kind of available on YSF Reflector 56026. That's the YouTuber's YSF reflector. Also available here locally on the Hanson Butte 2-meter fusion repeater on 145.170, and local hams without digital radio can monitor and participate, I think, on 442.000 in the analog mode. The purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issues, communication gear, and technique. I'm also looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on these various subjects. If you have material you'd like to present or discuss, when you check in, please indicate you have a subject. Although not primarily political, discussion of relative political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. In order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, if it gets busy enough. At least we'll do initial check-ins on in the following order. I'll ask for local repeater check-ins, then Wires X check-ins, then YSF check-ins, and then we'll do some live stream check-ins. And it sounds like Jeff is going to handle the live stream check-ins. He'll write them all down for us. So I encourage you to check in with your first name, call sign, location, and how you're getting into the net, whether it's local repeater, Wires X, or YSF. That being said, do we have any local check-ins?
Kilo 7, Yankee Alpha Zulu, Brad, Post Falls, Idaho, on a local repeater. The repeater is 87 RJ.
All right, Brad, got you in there from Post Falls. Great signal, and yeah. Hey, thank that guy for letting us use his repeater for the net. Any other local check-ins? Well, I'll include, that would be a Wires X check-in, but I'll include that because he's Idaho. Any other Idaho check-ins? All right, how about Wires X? Wires X check-ins.
KO4EOD, Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Oscar Delta. This is David in West Central Florida and calling in Wires X. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, David. Thanks for checking in. Anybody else? Wires X check-ins, YSF check-ins, or local?
KE9YY, Sean in Noblesville, Indiana.
Minnesota?
Okay, the KF0 station again.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Hotel Uniform, Sean from Frisbee, Minnesota.
All right, got two Seans in there. Sean in Indiana and Sean in Minnesota. Thank you guys for checking in. Any other check-ins anywhere? All right, guys. Let's see. I did want to mention. Let me get back to my script screen here. Loose ends from last week. After last week's net, Paul K5VOP, he set up a Discord server for the Southern Idaho Command, and I want to thank him for doing the initial setup on that, and then he turned it over to me. I've got a couple of people. Paul is helping out as an admin, and Pamela Crabtree, who is very, very active here on the net, she's also helping out as an admin over there and over here. So we're going to kind of migrate the live stream over to Discord after that. And I think Pamela's already put up the thing, the link to the Discord. Wow. And that's all I've got. Does anybody have any old business to take care of from last week or any other week? Questions about old subjects? Okay, hearing none. No real script today because it just kind of happened. It seems that we had, well, according to the press and all these companies, we had either a solar flare or a very mysterious coincidental outage that took out or took down a whole bunch of companies, telecommunications. It looks like a bunch of internet providers, websites, all came down about the same time. If you look at my little intro screen that I put up on YouTube, AT&T yesterday sent me a text, and it said, "It's AT&T. We apologize for Thursday's outage, which may have impacted you. As a valued customer, your connection matters, and we are committed to doing better." They didn't apologize, which, you know, I mean, if they got hacked, it ain't gonna matter. But they didn't tell us what happened. Pamela had posted on Discord, and I'm gonna move it over. I'm gonna move my thing over to Discord here. Pamela had posted a thing from a website that said, "Change healthcare. Cyber attack causes significant disruption." I kind of just wanted to open this up and talk about it. And I'm gonna let this drop. Here's the rub. According to a lot of the media, everybody tried to downplay this. Everybody tried to say this was just kind of a fluke thing. We don't know if this was an actual cyber attack, if it was a solar flare. I did hear that there was a solar flare that took place, but we have solar flares all the time. And unless it was like a Carrington event, I can't see it taking down that many servers and doing that much disruption for an hour. I just don't see it. I'm going to open it up to radio, what everybody has heard, what everybody thinks. Do you think it was a cyber attack? Do you think it was a trial run where they were just kind of saying, "Hey, we're here and we can bring you down at any time"? I'm going to open it up for comments on the radio. K7YAZ, go ahead. K7YAZ, K6UDA, Thanks. And this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Good information, and I'll definitely go check the guy out. Anybody else? Any other information, rumors, gossip about this evidently, possibly solar flare, possibly a cyber attack? We don't know. Got differing opinions. K6UDA, go ahead. All right, guys. Okay. Well, it looks like no takers. I'm going to take a look here on YouTube, or on the live stream. AT&T said, this is from Steel Wolf, and I'm gonna hang on. He says it was a deliberate attack or a deliberate act, and not solar. That supposedly comes from AT&T. I have not heard that. The only thing I got from them was a text. Yet other news sources say it was the sun. Let's see. From Jeff, KD8IOK, he says, another news source said it was an internal app from AT&T. And I guess I don't know, because I don't know how far their reach goes into other companies. I just don't, I don't see it. I don't, hang on here. What am I? Give me a quick second here. I got a little issue. Okay. I'm back. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, there was so many different companies that I had seen originally that I'm not buying that it was something internal from AT&T. I just don't buy that. Let's see. KK7PWZ says his company sent out an email that Change Healthcare was down. And Jeff also believes it was a trial run. I kind of subscribe to that. Who knows? The Chinese, the Russians, Antifa, or some other, organization or pseudo organization, kind of putting it out there. Just a nothing way too malicious, nothing that's going to bring it down for an extended period of time, but just throwing a switch maybe that shows our government, shows the companies that they're vulnerable, and they can bring them down. Also, now Steel Wolf has an interesting theory. Could have been both a trial run during a solar event to mask the actions, and that very well could be. We do know that there was a solar flare, at least one solar flare that happened. I guess that if you looked on the space weather site, that was up, and it did say that there was a solar flare. I guess it happened the night before, but for it to get to Earth, it takes time, and overnight, I guess, is time. Okay. All right. Steel Wolf says that I'm getting picket fencing, and I just shut down in one of the internal things. Am I still getting picket fencing on the radio? Anybody?
It's been a while. Under here, I've never had any from my end.
All right, good to know. Sometimes we end up putting an echo back into this thing. Let's see, a solar flare. This comes from the sporting camp. A solar flare would affect Canada and Mexico as well. That's true. Even if it hit North America, I mean, solar flares don't care if you're in Mexico, the U.S., or Canada. If it hits, if it's wide enough, and I would assume at that point it's wide enough that it'll affect larger portions of the U.S. and Canada, and possibly Mexico. And it seemed to be very specific here in the U.S. Okay, Todd over in the formerly great state of Hawaii says it was a X class, a 3X class solar flare. There was about 12 hours later, it screwed up radio propagation. That is something that happens all the time. I'm going to let this drop. For those of us who get on HF on a regular basis, we check the solar weather constantly, or, you know, at least when you're getting on. And you could tell, you can have a busy 40 meters and a solar flare hits the earth, and it just wipes everything out. I mean, it shuts off like a light switch. That happens quite often. I wasn't on the radio when this one supposedly hit the earth. I think I was still in bed. So it didn't even affect me. I didn't even know that it happened. I just saw it on the tube. Let's see. Let's move on. Anybody else on the radio have anything to add? Any comments? Any theories? And then we'll get into what we can do to minimize this if it becomes a regular thing, if it becomes a more widespread thing, or we get prolonged outages.
KD8 IOK.
KD8 IOK, go ahead.
Yeah, Bob. So one of my big concerns was obviously, yes, the communications going down was a big concern, but then later in the day, the announcement that the pharmaceutical companies were hacked. Emails were going out to various hospital personnel that said that the pharmaceutical companies were hacked and that their drugs were going to be affected and or delayed for the foreseeable future as a result of the hack. I find it interesting that was front page information yesterday, breaking news on just about every internet news reporting agency, but then you do day before yesterday. And then you do a news search yesterday, and you could find hardly anything about the pharmaceutical hack. Also, one of the things that I was thinking, and I try not to subscribe to the conspiracy theories, but I do think it could have been a test in the aspect of, okay, let's test these signals and see if we can hack them. let's test some other signals to see if we can hack them for the big attack somewhere down the road where they flip the switch and shut it all down at the same time. That's the fear that I have. Over.
Yeah. Very good, good theory, good observations. That's kind of what I mean. I think by noon of Thursday, you could barely find any information on, especially legacy media. They kind of ignored it. They very much minimized this, and just out of hand dismissed the possibility that it could be a cyber attack. All their experts, said, "Oh no, this was just an AT&T thing, or this just affected a few companies and no big deal." But I don't get how all these different companies experience the same thing at the same time, and all of a sudden we've got very little coverage on the news. I smell a rat on that, and I think that's kind of what we can expect with any kind of a real news event. I'm going to let this drop for a second. And this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. KO4EOD says at 5 a.m. in Florida, a room of 10 customers, only 3 lost service, 7 were fine, and that's strange. Would go and see what numbers are impacted for a pattern. Yeah, I don't have any idea how many customers were affected. Now that was, probably 1 or 2 companies. Usually in the cell phone industry, it's for most people it's AT&T or Verizon. Few people might have some of the local providers, and I don't know if the local providers were affected. That would be interesting to know who experienced outages as far as local providers. Maybe it's time to migrate over to some of these smaller providers that wouldn't get hacked as easy or aren't as susceptible on the backbone. So there was also a thing. There's a thing called AT&T FirstNet, and this is a software program that California adopted to basically this prompted a few years back the mass exodus of ham radio repeaters in state radio vaults across the state. AT&T FirstNet came in and they promised this is unhackable. This is a brand new, beautiful thing that's going to take care of all your first responder communication needs, and it'll all reside on our AT&T FirstNet dispatching, emergency backup communications. And FirstNet went down, from what I hear. AT&T FirstNet was something that went down, so I don't know how that affected the public safety community, but that would be interesting, and we probably won't hear anything else about that. We might hear just a few smatterings, but I don't think we're going to hear much, if anything. So Howard Buck on YouTube says the AT&T outage was due to a software glitch while they were attempting to expand their network. Yeah, well, that doesn't explain all these other, there was like 100 different companies that experienced outages. maybe some of them were on an AT&T network. I can't imagine all of them. And larger companies are attached to the backbone themselves. Don't know. Let's see. Anybody else on the radio have anything to add? Okay, so then I want to pose the question to everybody. If we are susceptible, and now we kind of know that we are all susceptible to these major outages, these cyber attacks, what can we as ham radio operators, as people who are preparedness minded, because not all of us consider ourselves preppers, but everybody here at least considers themselves preparedness minded. What can we do to minimize the effects of things like this in our lives? Let me open this up to the radio. Anybody on local repeaters, Wires X or YSF, have anything to add? Anything to an answer to that question?
KD8I, okay.
Yeah, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we got to just keep doing what we're doing. We got to realize that we can't rely on general communications, cell phones, things of that nature, the internet. Even if we were prepped with Faraday cages, it wouldn't prevent this issue because it wasn't an issue with our personal phones. It was with the service and signals from the provider. So, you know, the ham radio hopefully is going to prevent that, still gives us a line of communication. And more importantly, my daughter was caught up in it as well. She knows how to get to school, but she was driving to college, and she uses her GPS for traffic purposes because she has a significant 2.5-hour drive to the university. And the biggest thing is that using the GPS went wonky on her while she was driving. And I think that it reminds us that we need to have maps. Have maps of where we travel to, have maps of where we think we might want to travel to, know how to use them, know how to use a compass. Because if something like this happens when we're out in the middle of nowhere, just driving around and enjoying life and doing the things that we enjoy doing, you could get stranded and not know how to get back. So we need to train ourselves on how to handle things using the old methods, because we can't rely on the current civilized methods that we're used to today.
Yeah, great comment. I didn't know. Now, did the GPS system go down, or was that something on her phone through her provider?
She was using the Google Maps on her phone, and she is a FirstNet phone recipient because of her medical licensing and stuff. Working at the hospital, she's got the FirstNet service. And while she was driving, her Google Maps went all kinds of wonky, and her phone went into emergency mode, and it would only allow her to make 911 calls, and that was it. The texting wouldn't work. The GPS wouldn't work. Nothing would function the way that it normally does until after the problem was resolved.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's good information. So, great point to get yourself refamiliarized with paper maps. I think that needs to kind of become a priority for some of us. I know personally I've become pretty reliant on my GPS, and I used to carry a dedicated GPS, which would be on a different system, but I've been using the phone a lot as a primary GPS. As a primary GPS, and I probably need to start looking at my paper maps again, or get updated paper maps, especially local. I haven't concentrated on getting paper maps for Idaho and for my local area here, and that needs to become a priority. I think we're going to fastly find out that our system is a whole lot more fragile than anybody gives it credit for. And I think it can all come crashing down fairly quickly. Let's see. It looks like we got 14 nodes on the radio, 78 people online, 45 thumbs up on the live stream. I'd like to see 78 thumbs up on the live stream. And this is Bob, K6UDA, for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Do we have any other comments on what we can do to minimize these types of outages in our personal lives? Asking on the radio first.
KO4 EOD.
KO4 EOD. Go ahead.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob and everyone.
Basically, I have a good news comment, a good story about local communities here. I'd say maybe 4 years ago, I would tell people about ham radio and stuff, say at happy hours and so on, and growing food and stuff like that, and they kind of look at you like, how they look at you like you're kind of a weirdo thing. But I gotta say some good news in the last 6 months or so, or maybe starting when Ukraine was invaded. These people are slowly changing and now asking me, hey, remember when you talked about these radios? How do I get that now? So slowly seeing the local communities kind of get the feeling something's up. And so that's good news. So I think it really helps when more people get on board with how to communicate off grid. So I think that's a little bit of a good story that everyone should appreciate and see if you notice the same thing in your area. Start bringing it up at the bar. Start talking about it and see what people think. It's a little different time now. So I hope that's good news for people. KO4 DOD.
Yeah, KO4 EOD, K6UDA. Yeah, that could be good news. Kind of depends upon how people want to react to it. I know there's a lot of people that want to bury their head in the sand. They want to pretend there's nothing wrong, and I think there could be some real potential. Well, those are going to be the people that panic first when something big really does happen. They're going to be caught. They're going to be caught up in the normalcy bias, or they're going to just flat out panic. Those of us that have thought about this, trained for it, even if you've just mentally kind of gone through and said, okay, here's what I will do if this happens. We won't panic. We'll actually put those plans into place and start progressing from there. So good, good observations. I hope it does change the narrative and open people's eyes a little bit. Okay, let me look here on YouTube. We'll see if we can pull out a few. Let's see. Ken, K5TAR, he says that local 911 services sent out a notification to use landlines for 911. That's not a good sign because a lot of us, including me, don't have landlines anymore. So that would have done me for calling 911. Let's see. If you have a laser jet, you can buy Right in the Rain paper and print out. Oh, look at this. So Matthew Leby says if you have a laser jet, you can buy Right in the Rain paper and print maps on tough waterproof paper. Good idea. Let's see. Well, there's a lot of comments on YouTube. If you guys are on the radio only, I encourage you to go over to YouTube, even on the replay, and just scroll through the comments. You don't even have to listen to the whole net. We're 39 minutes in. I'm kind of out of stuff to talk about. 81 people on the live stream, 53 thumbs up. Let's make it 80 or 81 real quick. Thumbs up if you like this comment or content. Whoop, hang on here. What is going on? I'm screwing everything up here on the YouTube side. So excuse me. Anybody else from the radio side have any final comments? I think we beat this to death. I think we need to become more reliant on ourselves as opposed to all the technology, all of the websites and everything. I'm gonna let it break.
KJ7 RAR.
KJ7 RAR, go ahead.
I didn't catch everything this morning, but one of the things I've been noticing is when we have GPS and all that, I'm in the process of looking for compasses, just a regular, everyday, old-fashioned handheld compass. I remember when I was in the Army, they taught us about compass, and then they dropped us off and told us to get to this location, and we had to do it. Now, for the most time, we're on streets, we have a map, but if we happen to be up in the hills or traveling or someplace and we have to walk across country to get home or just anything, I think having a compass, a good quality compass, and knowing how to use it wouldn't be a bad idea. They're not that expensive. You can just stick them in your car or your pack or whatever and just use it when you need to. Over.
Yeah, good idea. Get back to map and compass. I know the Boise area AMCON chapter. They did a map and compass class, map reading and navigation, basic navigation, a couple of weeks ago. I didn't make it out through for that, but it sounded like a good class, something that I know I could use, and even as a refresher. And I've never been a great map and compass navigator, even though I've tried. But yeah, I think we need to get back to those basics. I think those of us that have, that are hams, and a lot of us on this platform or both of these platforms here are hams, are GMRS people. Maybe it's time we start educating or this would be a great time, I think, to get with your neighborhood. And if you're on decent terms, if you're on good terms with your neighbors and you're close and everybody kind of has that mindset of we need to watch out for each other, like my neighborhood here, this is a great time to approach all those neighbors and suggest GMRS radios at the very least for these emergencies, for these times when maybe the cell service goes down. And at least if something happens in the future, you'd have neighborhood communications. I think that is my big takeaway. I'm going to use this whole event from the other day to really approach all the neighbors now, at least on my street, and kind of talk to them about getting GMRS radios, so at least we can stay in touch and get critical information out to each other if we need to. It is funny. FM on the live stream says Canada has cell phones. As for Mexico, no DENI in that country. Now the U.S., oh boy. And it's kind of funny. Canada didn't get hit with these outages. Mexico didn't get hit with these outages. It was pretty specific to the U.S. All right, anybody else on the radio side have anything? And if not, I think we'll go ahead and close out the net for today. Anybody on radio? Wires X, local, YSF.
KD8IOK.
KD8IOK, go ahead.
Yeah, off topic, on topic. Going back to some of our previous nets, we talked about the medical side of things, and because of the pharmaceutical alleged hack that occurred, it sparked the desire in me to go back to what we've talked about before, the jacemedical.com, and being able to get your medications a year supply at a time. And it prompted me to go ahead and do that again. I've done it before. I wanted to do it again. It was time to renew anyway. It just was holding out a little bit longer. And just wanted to give everybody an example of how Jace works. I ordered up 6 meds. I'm a cardiac diabetic patient. I'm on various thinners and statins and things like that. And for my 6 meds, for a 1-year supply of all of them, it was $287.10 to get delivered. That's cheaper than what my copays are when I get it in 3-month increments from my mail order supply. So, good service to use. Can't recommend it enough. Over.
Outstanding information. I get mine in 3 months supplies, and I'll look into that. It would be very nice to get some of the meds on that yearly basis, because if something big happens, we could be out of internet, we could be out of power for 6 months or a year. And if you run out of meds, and they're that critical medications, the heart meds, anti-seizure stuff, whatever, and especially things like insulin for diabetics, you wouldn't be long for the world if you don't have those meds. There was somebody else that was in there at the first part of Jeff's last transmission. If you're still there, go ahead and key up, or go ahead and answer up.
2 Echo Zero India Echo Hotel. But I don't think that was me. Back to you, Rob.
All right, 2E0 IEH. Do you have something to add to the conversation, or some advice for us over here in the U.S.?
Yeah, very quickly. I jumped. Apologies, I just jumped in on the end of this, so I'm not going to disrupt things and stuff. And obviously, I caught the end of the conversation probably 5 minutes ago about the publicised cell phone outage that happened a few days ago over there. And to be honest, I need to sit and watch the rerun of the stream, as it were, to catch up on all of that. It's not anything we've seen here at the moment. As you say, it seems to be US specific, so I'm not going to get involved in that. It's just that I haven't managed to catch the stream properly. It's really interesting that, everything you've done on this stream since you've been started it goes back to the thing, there's no such thing as a conspiracy theory anymore, because everything's going through. So it's very poignant that you say it's a good wake-up call, and it must help your case very much, people with the mindset you guys have got. It's just that little emphasis hopefully will make it, spread the message a little bit more. People will start to take notice of what might have been, a bit of a fringe group of people. It's now becoming, probably come to more of the forefront of everyday people's thinking. So that's all I've got to say on that, and apologies for late. Hopefully I'll catch it in full length next weekend. Back to you.
All right, very good. Hey, thank you for that. Great perspective from across the Atlantic there. For years and years, preppers and people that were preparedness minded here in the U.S. were considered kind of a fringe group, a very small minority. Or at least the people that would admit it. And, I know in my own case, we kind of kept it to ourselves for years and years. It was just very recently that I decided I had to kind of take this mainstream and talk about it with you guys out in the open. And now it seems as if a lot of these things are going to start coming true. All the conspiracy theories are now proving themselves out to be conspiracy fact. Or not even conspiracy anymore. It's just a fact of life. So anyway, let's see. Anything else from the radio? And then I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the net. Terry KJ7RAR, do you have anything for the net related to this or related to anything else? We know, I know that you're not going to be here the next 2 weeks, and Terry helps me on the back end of the net here. Pamela also helps on the back end of the net. Paul helps on the back end on the Discord side. I want to thank all the people that participate and make this thing possible, because it ain't about me just talking out my butt. Terry, back to you. Okay, I guess we lost Terry there. 13 nodes connected to the net today, which is awesome. We've got 79 people on the live stream right now. James is in the house, And let's see, Sean, KD9YY in the house, also on the radio and on the live stream. So with that, my friends, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a net on the radio. We'll continue for a few minutes over here on the live stream, and then we're going to start migrating over to the Discord server. So I want to thank everybody for being on the net this week, and look forward to talking to you next week on the net. This is Bob, K6UDA, returning all the repeaters and all of the nodes to their normal operation. 7.3, and oh, by the way, if you have nowhere else to park your net during the week, you're more than welcome to leave it on the Idaho command. And man, it'd be very cool to have these conversations during the week, just kind of hanging out. Again, Bob, K6UDA, thanks for being part of the net. 7.3. All right, guys. It's you and me.
K6UDA, KB7SQS.
Yeah, Lance, go ahead.
Hey, when you get done, get a hold of me. I'm going to try to run the YSF network from my end and see if we can get it to work.
Oh, that would be very cool. Yeah. I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay, sounds good. I should be home till around noon anyway, so catch you a little later. KB7SQS.
All right, K6UDA. All right, let's see.
Oh, by the way, just go unplug your open spot right now, because I'm going to start experimenting. You don't need to be there while I'm doing it, but if you can unplug yours, we won't get any looping going on.
All right, copy that. I'll run out there and unplug that. K6UDA. All right, guys, I will be right back.
KB7SQS.
Hey Bob, can you add me to the log KK7JTK?
Okay. All right, guys, I am back. Let's see. Are we about ready to go try Discord? I'm kind of excited to do this, so I'm kind of excited to. Let me jump off of that. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to try out this Discord server.
To the log. This is Matt. Kilo 7 Juliet Tango Kilo.
All right, Matt, you're in there. KK7JTK. Got you in.
And the +1. Kilo 7 Charlie Alpha November.
Oh, the can-do attitude. Got you in there, my friend. All right.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, thank you guys. K6UDA. Okay, Yeah, you know what? I think it's about time. I'm going to wrap this up over here. I'm going to jump over onto Discord and we'll take it from there. The Discord server is listed in the comments if you want to do that. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes over here. Good to see you all. If I don't see you till next week, have a great week. I'm Bob, K6UDA, and 7-3.